Hello. Episode
6.
6?
It is 6, isn't it?
It is 6. That's crazy.
6.
So far, my favourite episode was episode 5. I listened back to it and I was like...
When I was editing it, I did really like it. I thought it was...
I loved it. I thought...
one.
Dropped a bomb as well when we was like, we see you. Even Tom
I
was
know.
crying.
I
He was
know.
laughing his head off like, we see you.
Do you know, when I was thinking about cutting it out, I watched it and I was like, oh, should we have done that? I might cut that out. And then I was like, actually, no, you can know
Like
about yourself.
if the shoe fits,
Yeah.
we haven't named anyone. We haven't specifically said who we're thinking.
Yeah, so I kept it in. Oh, put that phone on silent, girl. I feel like the microphones feel really light
Honestly.
today.
Guys, the day I've had, like, you would not believe. I'm
tell us.
currently unwinding my stress sitting here. It's Connor's birthday. Happy birthday,
Happy
Con.
birthday, Con.
And my daughter left me a list of things to do. So we needed party hats.
Oh my God, stop. That is so cute.
We needed banners. I had to bake him a cake because I do it every year. And then she was like, no, but we need chocolate, mummy. And I was like, I'll bake brownies as well then. Then had to run to the shop, pick the girls up from school. Blair lost his dummy. Tyler was sitting outside waiting for me. My manager pulled me. I'm running down the road and I've just got here.
I was texting Demi like, hello, let me in. Hello. And then I heard Tyler and I was like, and you just appeared in front of me. I was like,
Honestly,
where did you come from?
I didn't take my phone. And you know when you just feel like you've been gone ages, I was like, I feel like I've been gone I must have been gone half an hour. Maybe even longer. Because I didn't see Jenny come. You text me like half an hour ago. I just left then. So I must have been gone that long, just walking round the corner.
I did wonder where you were at.
So yeah, sitting here feels nice.
So what are you doing anything this evening for Connor's birthday?
Yeah,
Like
we're
a
going
little
over.
family?
I'm going over to his mum's.
Okay.
Gonna get a takeaway or something. We celebrated it the weekend, but it's like our little tradition, and I think that's why Nelly had said to me, we need party hats, because last birthday I baked him a Victoria sponge, had party hats, and
so
when he walked
she's
in through the door,
associating it.
so she must have thought we've got to do that again. And do you know what as well,
Aw,
guys?
she's so sweet.
She made me pay £30 for a jelly cat for Khan that I know he probably appreciates because it's from Nelly, but I know he looked at it and thought,
What the hell?
what the
is
heck?
that?
Why have you wasted your money on that? But she was adamant. His favourite animal is an otter, and they brought out the otter jelly cat, and she was adamant he had to have it.
She is the sweetest.
Like, adamant.
Oh my God.
And she even said, Daddy will love that present the most. I was thinking, I don't know,
Yeah,
but okay.
I don't know.
And it sold out. So we actually had to hunt this otter down, and I
Oh.
managed to find it, and
That's
she was buzzing.
commitment.
I know.
Oh, stop. It's
If I
it's
don't
so
see that
wholesome.
otter under his arm when I go to bed tonight,
Yeah.
I'm putting it under there.
Tell him he's got to sleep with it now.
What have you been up to?
Oh God, my brain. I can actually never remember. Yeah, I've been at work, but
That's
did
really
I do
annoying,
anything
mate.
interesting? Not really. I was with my family over the weekend. We didn't really do a lot. I watched Adolescence.
Did you? What did you think?
I did. Now, whilst I was watching it, first episode, loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually cried when they went into I didn't like sob. My eyes just like watered. You know, when they were arresting him and like everyone was just like so upset. And I was like, oh my God, that would be horrific.
Because when we spoke about it last week, I hadn't finished Adolescence. And I finished it a couple of days ago. And my views are different on it now.
Oh, interesting.
Because the psychology bit where the psychologist goes in, I kind of thought that wouldn't happen. I know that would not happen. If it got to that point where he started kicking out and throwing chairs and stuff, it would be ended.
It would be ended.
It would be completely ended.
I did think that. I did think, why is this continuing? And why is she, like, the guy that comes to the door and he's like, are you okay? And she's like, oh, no. And I know that was intentional, but I did think they wouldn't put themselves in danger like
Yeah,
that. They would literally be like,
no, end of
done,
session.
ended, let me out.
Because also they would want him to see, they'd want him to feel those emotions of he's not in control. You're trying to teach someone about their masculinity, but you're allowing him to be masculine.
Although
say
it was a
masculine,
TV show, so they did do it on purpose, but in real life, like.
And then I also thought, like, the questions that she asked about the dad, I thought, I understand that you're trying to get his perception of, like, men and how they should be. But you're basically, the way you asked it, and again, I know it is only a TV programme, the way she asked it, I thought, you're making it like dad's to blame in a way.
Yeah.
Like, you never asked about mum or, like, aunt or sister or...
Yeah, I think that was the point, though.
I
think what they did was very intentional. I don't think that part was realistic, but I think it was intentional.
Yeah,
I think they were doing it about the dad because they wanted to see his views and stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole show was about, like, all this toxic masculine manosphere stuff. It was
But I did think it was really interesting and really good to watch because people don't realise the impact that school has. And I think when you're a parent and you realise that your child is going to be a teenager one day, you do
it's not
panic.
just school, the internet.
Oh, 100%.
That was like internet issues as well. It was like, to be fair, I didn't realise it was. Watching it, I didn't realise it was going to be like, yeah, he killed her. I did think it was going to be a whodunit, but it wasn't a whodunit. It was, he killed her.
Yeah.
And then when it got to the end, I was a bit like, the last episode, I really struggled to watch that last episode. But by the end of it, I actually did think it was really good. But whilst it was happening, I was like, okay, this is a bit shit.
I thought the same.
Nothing's happening. But then at the end, I cried.
The same.
And then I was like,
the bed bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I was like, it was slow and intentional, and actually it was to show how the impact it had on the family.
Yeah.
And then I thought, actually, I changed my mind now. But like, I knew he'd killed her. When after they showed the CCTV, I was like, yeah, obviously he's killed her. But then I even started to question, wait, has he? But you know, because he denies it, and then his dad is like, but then I did like read about it after, and it said that they wanted you to experience it as if you were a parent and you were like conflicted. And I did feel that way until at the end.
And do you know what? Even at the end, it really broke my heart because I just thought that poor family has lost a son, and they've got to mourn a son now because their parenting, the way they, obviously without giving too much away, obviously they're going to question their own parenting style. You wouldn't you? You'd just be like, what have we done?
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily their fault at all.
No.
You know, and then I just thought, like, imagine that your child that you know has got a good heart has made a really big mistake, a humongous mistake like that of murdering someone, trying to get round your head that they're capable of doing that. And the fact that you've now got to grieve them because you've lost your child. Because as much as I love Nelly, and do you know what? Before, and this is genuine, before watching that, I used to think, if my kids ever did something like that, I'd just shut them down completely. I'd never want to speak to them again.
Is it?
And watching that, I thought, it's not that simple.
It's not that black and white. It is not
that simple. And that poor family are getting abused and like, oh, you know, it's your fault, your kid, whatever. When actually, you love them so much. Oh,
and I know every man and the dog's talking about this show at the minute, and I know, which is good, and I know that it's just a TV show, but they made it to raise awareness.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it has sparked a lot of conversation in people, which is really good. Like, everyone's talking about it, and I'm seeing some people on TikTok like, oh, it was really shit. Like, why is everyone talking about it? And I'm like, oh, you've missed the point then. Like,
yeah, clearly.
It's about knife crime. It's about all of that flipping incel stuff. It's about how all of that internet horrible
because
culture.
I also think as well, when you're a child, bee, can you hear me?
Is there a bee inside?
No, I've just seen it at the window. I love fat bees.
I can hear it buzzing. I just thought it was in here.
I love big fat bees.
I don't want it to come in. I will scream and run. Oh, it's very loud.
But yeah, I did think like I'm not saying him in particular, but so many children make mistakes that they don't realise the impact and the severity, whatever the word is, of it. That you just think like, oh my God, your life's through it now. Your life's through it, your parents' lives through it. Because let's be honest, not so much that deep, but how many times have we made stupid mistakes? Like a good example, you know, when you go drinking on a night out, and yes, you've gone to sleep and you've gone to bed, but you wake up the next morning and you drive your car. I'm not saying that I do that. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that do that. You're still over the limit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And if you was to get pulled over for any reason and you smell like it and they've got a breathalyzer, things like that, just little things that you don't realise.
I mean, I did find it interesting that, like, until the end when he said he was changing his plea, I don't think he actually grasped the concept of the fact that he killed her.
No, I don't.
I don't think he actually did understand that I think he knows, yes, I stabbed her, but I don't think he knows I've killed her.
Like she's not here anymore.
Her life.
Because of when he called her a bitch as well.
Yeah, and then he spoke about her as if she still was around. When he was like, oh yeah, 2 girls in my year, like photos got sent round about them, and then he was like, oh yeah, she's a bit, and I was like, yeah, you do realise you're talking about.
And what about the friend that gave him the knife?
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? That's they're raising awareness because they obviously just thought it was normal.
Yeah,
he's obviously said to the friend, oh, I'm going to scare her, give me the knife. He's gone, oh yeah, scare her, and then his rage has taken over.
Yeah, because also, not that I would do that, because I wouldn't, because we obviously know not to do that, but someone's upsetting my friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you was being bullied by someone and you was like, oh, I'm going to confront them, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
And the culture that they have, it's just all fucked up. Like, all this stuff on the internet, like, think of what they've got access to, think of what they watch, and that was the point as well. He's like in his room watching stuff and engaging with things online that are obviously
can't really
radicalising him. Yeah. And I know it wasn't based on a true story, but it's happening.
Yeah,
it is a thing.
Too much.
Boys are being radicalised by this weird manosphere stuff, and there is a lot of knife crime is rife.
Yeah. Well, we all know that when I had Nelly, I was adamant I wasn't going to have another one for many reasons that I will mention on another day. But one of the reasons was I was like, what if we have a boy? And Common's like, well, we have a boy. And I was like, no, but can't, like, I'm really scared. And I was like, I know things happen to girls as well, and I know bad things happen, but knife crime at the minute is horrendous, kind of. And I was like, you hear stories of like girlfriends luring their boyfriends, and then they've been murdered, or a lad looks at someone the wrong way, or someone goes out and you bump into them and they go, excuse me, the lad in Solihull that got stabbed over a watch. Like, you just think. I just remember thinking, no, like, what if I have a boy? And I've now got a boy and I love having a son, but this is the sad reality of what is going on around us. And it's happening everywhere. Like, you can't...
You've just got to make sure that...
I just hope that in,
you do what you can do.
Time.
You can't control everything, but you can at least, do what you can do. He's lucky because he's got good parents. Yeah, I mean, I not everybody has a healthy relationship with their parents. Not everybody has positive parents. Not everybody has nice parents. But then a lot of people do, and they still turn out that. I mean, in that show, his family is a relatively normal family.
Yeah, like, look at, I know it's completely different storyline, but look at Lucy Letby.
Who's that?
The one that killed all those babies, the nurse.
Oh yeah.
And everyone was shocked because of how normal she looked and how normal her family were.
It's crazy.
It is. But like you said, hopefully in 13 years' time, a lot of awareness will be raised. And technically, we're raising awareness right now.
We are. And that's why I was kind of like, do I talk about it? Because everyone's talking about it. And I was like, actually, no. The point of the show is to talk about it. Is
absolutely.
To get everyone, like... I know for a fact there are people that are going to watch that show, adults, grown adults, parents, that are going to watch that show and they will have never even heard of the word incel. I was telling Tom about it. I mean, half of the stuff they spoke about, there was this red pill thing. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know that was an internet thing, but I did know about this incel Andrew Tate stuff because it came up on my TikTok before. Yeah. But like, I didn't know about some of the stuff. And then I explained it to Tom, and Tom was like, I haven't even heard of any of this. And I was like, see? And that's where it's like, if we had a teenage boy, hypothetically, that's where it would slip our minds, and that's where it does slip people's minds, because we don't know that exists and we just think they're just having fun on their computers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas now parents are going to watch it and be like, let me look at your fucking computer, because what the fuck are you doing on there?
I don't know if you've seen it as well. I know that the horse meant drugs. but a lot of parents didn't know that the horse emoji means drugs.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of awareness now. When I turned on This Morning a couple of days ago about things like this now that have ulterior meanings. Like, that's not saying every time your son or daughter sends a horse emoji that they're talking about drugs, but to know
it's
that
being aware, isn't it?
you know, like ketamine and all of that, there's different emojis for it, the aubergine, you know, it's knowing what they mean. So it like you said, it sparked loads of conversations everywhere on all different things.
The internet, I mean, I know that we had computers when we were younger, but it wasn't as advanced, and social media wasn't as big as it is now.
And like, if I was speaking to someone on MSN, I was going downstairs into my family living room,
into the dining room. I would sit in the dining room at the computer,
the family computer that everyone's around.
And we all shared that computer. So if my mum went on it and MSN popped up, she could see all of everyone who I was talking to. So it was like, I didn't really have that. When I got a bit older and they started introducing Instagram and stuff, but again, it still wasn't how it is now. It's like there's so many more layers to it now. Yeah,
like I remember downloading Instagram because I was looking for a photo editor, not to edit photos, but to put it into a collage. And Instagram come up, and I clicked on it, and I downloaded it, and I uploaded a photo, and I thought,
what is this?
Like, I'd made it into a collage, but I was like, And then I actually had an Instagram account for years before Instagram become a thing.
Oh, really?
I remember then going, oh my God, like I've got collage on there. I don't really want anyone to see, you know. But like you said, I mean, I wasn't allowed Facebook for.
Oh, I wasn't.
And you know what?
I did get a Facebook account when I wasn't allowed one, and my mum found out, and she was like, and I was like, I
wasn't allowed, and I didn't. I didn't.
Oh, really? I broke the rules.
But even now, I think it shows because I still don't have any interest in Facebook.
I don't have an interest.
Not that interested in it, but I mean, TikTok. I'm TikTok crazy. I love it. But I'm on the good side of TikTok.
I don't think Facebook's our generation, though.
No,
it's like
not
the ones
anymore.
above us.
Yeah. Family life. Goodness me. There was another one I wanted to speak about. Oh my God, Jamie Lang.
Oh, running the 5 ultramarathons.
The ultramarathon. Oh,
how amazing!
That made me so emotional.
I didn't think it would. I'm quite a Jamie Lang fan, actually. I did used to listen to his podcast a lot. I do quite like him, but I didn't expect to be so emotional over it. I would never have been able to do that.
No, like. It's the fact that doing one marathon is hard, but then imagine waking up and knowing you got to do it again.
Oh God, honestly, I would hate it.
And you know what? I actually got a bit scared because I thought like that's a lot of strain on the body.
I did think he might cause himself
because I mean I don't really follow Jamie Lang that much, but he's not a fitness person, is he?
No, and he didn't really train either. I think the most he could run was like 15k.
I'm petrified about my half marathon.
Well, if Jamie Lang can do
this is what I keep
5
thinking,
ultramarathons, you can do
this
yours.
Is what I keep thinking. Listening to it, I literally tuned in every day, and I actually did give money because I was like, if he can do that, I can get through half a marathon. Yeah. Like it is in the mind. And I don't know if you've seen, the reason why I was speaking about that was on Instagram. He did a post about crying and emotions and how boys do cry because of this whole Andrew Tate thing at the minute.
He's very open about his emotions, actually. That's one reason why I like him. On his podcast, he's always spoken really openly about his anxiety.
I love that. Yeah, I love that because, like I said, he was talking about... It's chaos! Today is chaos! But yeah. So yeah, he was talking about this whole Andrew Tate thing because
it's awful.
I think I want to educate myself more on this because I don't really follow this Andrew Tate stuff.
Good. This is good. This means that you've been awareness has been raised to a parent.
Honestly,
and now you can keep yourself in the loop about it.
He doesn't seem like a very nice man. No, I already know that, so I can't wait to.
I saw him a long time ago. I think he was on a podcast that I listened to, and I was like, I listen to this podcast every week, so I was like, oh, I'll just put this episode on. And then I was going like halfway through a podcast, and I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I was really pissed off that the people that I listened to actually got him on. But at that point, I don't think he was as big of a influence on this incel culture at that point. Okay. I think it was just starting, so maybe I'm gonna go back and see if they've deleted that episode because they should.
If they haven't, send
and
it
then
to me so I can...
and then I was like, who's this knobhead? And then over time I like kept seeing videos of him And I thought, who the fuck is this prick? And why are people... He made like...
I know he's the owner of Tesla, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought it was Elon Musk.
Is it?
I don't know. We're going to sound really dumb now.
Is it?
I don't know. Who owns...
It might be, I think it is.
It's Elon Musk. So, Andrew Tate, he was a kickboxer. That's it. So he used to be a kickboxer, so he was known for that. And now he's just became this misogynistic, like, violent. He's like you need to go and watch stuff about him. You'll hate him and it'll make you skin crawl, but like at least you'll know about it, because young boys, teenage boys, young boys watch his content and they're like radicalized by him. They think what he says about women and stuff, they think his views are like and this is what the show was. They think he is like some sort of...
I mean, isn't it crazy that they've had to make a show because of this? Like,
well, I did read Stephen Graham didn't even know about it. He was someone that didn't know about it, and then someone else mentioned it to him, and then he like learnt about it, and he was like, I need to raise awareness of this. And then, because I mean, even in the show, Ashley Walters, when he's going around the school, and then his son comes in and says, "You're reading the emojis all wrong. Like, this is what the emojis actually mean, Dad." And then he's like, "Oh shit!" It's like, you didn't know all the emojis,
isn't
man.
it crazy? And that will always happen.
We
like,
just
it
need
happened to our parents.
Yeah,
and
we need to stay on. We need to stay on it. We need to go out of our own way to educate ourselves, because no one's going to teach us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in 10 years' time, when I've got a child, I'm going to have to actively research things and find out what the crack is in 10 years, because it's going to be something different.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And no one's going to tell us about it, and we're just going to go unknown. But as long as people are aware and educate their kids, and
I agree.
That's all you can do. You can just all you can do is educate,
hope and
pray. You can't always prevent things. It's not actually your fault if anything happens, but anyway, we'll stop talking about that now, because I thought I was spoke about it for a while.
We could talk about it for ages.
My friend sent me her voice note of her sheep impression.
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh.
Right.
Why Tyler finds that we have decided this week. Well, we haven't decided. The power was in your hands.
Oh, yes, it was.
And the vote came in that you guys wanted us to talk about love language. So today's topic of choice is love.
Right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Amazing sheep impression. I actually listened to it like 4 times and I was really impressed. Right, is that my speaker? Oh, wait, sorry, that was on 2 times speed.
I thought that's really good.
That was on 2 times speed. Let's try again.
That's actually really good.
Actually sounds like a flipping sheep.
I love that.
I love it. Well done, Ella.
Does she want to be named?
Well, you're being named and shamed, Ella. The best sheep impression ever. So, a love language. So, I mean, I think we all know what love language is, but it's basically the way you give and receive love.
Yeah. So it's how
you
want to be loved,
yeah.
And how you put it out. Which, do you know what? I was thinking about this in the car earlier, because me and my friend often talk about this a lot. Because
really?
Yeah, because it's funny how when you're younger and you're in a relationship, you think that showing your partner love is sex. Like, you're like, I love my partner. I want them to know I love them. I need to have sex with them. Like, it's constant, like, sex. And I think when you get older, going back to toxic relationships, you realise that showing and giving and receiving love and all of that isn't just sex.
It's
like,
not.
that's actually a minute % of how you feel loved.
That's a minute % of how you can build a relationship.
Literally. But like, when you're younger, you're like, oh my God, I love
all that
them.
matters.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that matters in the world.
And whereas, like, when you're older, you know that that's toxic. Like, if the only way you can give
of course.
is sex, you know that's not great. Whereas now, it's loads of different things. And the most interesting thing I found about this was it was very situational in regards to, like, the answers that I was getting were different depending on if a person lived with their partner, if they had children, if they're fresh into a relationship. Like, I actually find it really interesting.
Well, I think mine have definitely changed even over the 4 years I've been with Tom, because I'm pretty sure when I first met Tom, we did this like love language quiz. I'm sure I made him do it, and I'm sure mine have changed.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know, obviously, because I don't remember what they were 4 years ago, but I do feel like there's been a shift.
Oh, 100% for me as well. I think now, and a big example of that would be, previously, love would be like me and Carme, you know, like touchy-feely, gift-giving, all of that. Whereas now that we've got children, I just want to spend time with him. Like, me and him time. And me and Con are really lucky because the children's grandparents on both sides help out, so we're really lucky in the aspect that we do get that time, because my mum and dad have always been big on making sure that we have time for each other.
That's
because
nice.
Obviously you get lost in parenting. I remember when I first had Nelly, my mum and dad were like, you just make sure you know that you make the time for each other. It's important to make the time for each other, because happy relationship, the kids are happy, you're happy, blah blah blah. And I think Nelly was like 3 days old, and they pushed me out. It was only for an hour. It was only to the pub down the road for an hour. But they were like, no, you go in. You go in. You're going to spend some time with Khan, and we will look after the baby. Be fine. You're down the road. And I remember crying, but it was the best thing I've ever done.
Really?
Because everyone says me and Khan have such a good relationship, because we're parents, but we're also a couple.
You're a couple,
and we're
you're
also
a team.
single
You're a
at
team,
the
yeah.
same time. Like, I am me. I'm a wife, a mum.
You've got a very healthy dynamic going on, which is good.
Yeah, and I like it.
How inspirational. I'm not taking the piss. That sounded like I was taking the piss.
She's getting me back from last week.
week.
Last week and the funny hat.
And every week that you take the piss out of me. Every fucking week.
So yeah.
But yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I think I definitely used to really care about physical touch and gifts. Like you said, like I used to think getting a gift, giving a gift, I used to think gifts. And even when I met Tom, I think gifts were quite high up there in my expectations. And now, well, I'll talk about what mine are, but now it's not. So
But we were talking about earlier, weren't we? So as I mentioned at the start, I've baked Connor cake, and Ty was saying that she also does the same for Tom on his birthday. Because that's like our little... We're not good at baking.
I'm not good at it. I hate baking. You'll never catch me doing anything like that any other time of the year. But for Tom, for his birthday, I will do the thing I hate.
I'm the same. And
I will bake him a cake, and he will enjoy it.
And like you said, it's because you know that is the biggest way you can show appreciation, because he knows how hard that would have been for you, knowing how much you hate it. And that's the same with Khan. Like, every time I bake, he's over my shoulder like, you forgot an ingredient or something like that.
Oh, I don't do it in front of him.
No, like, I mean, when I've had to do something in the past, he'll be like, you've missed an ingredient. Because Con's the baker in our house. I'm the cook and he's the baker.
My dad was always the baker. My dad's amazing at baking. I do get him to help me when I have to do Tom's cakes. But like, and I do something different. Like, I don't always do I won't do a chocolate cake every year. I'll do different stuff and experiment. I mean, last year I made a millefeuille, made my own jam from scratch.
What's a millefeuille?
It's like it's like 3 layers of pastry, and then it's got like jam, cream, strawberries, icing on top. Let me show you.
Pastry.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Do you know what I love? What are they called now?
These
Pavlova. No, not Pavlova. Oh yeah, I've had one of them.
They call them in the shops. They call them like a cream slice or a vanilla slice.
Yeah, I've had one of them.
You see this? Yeah, I made it. Hey, do you want me to show you mine?
Yes, please.
I take a picture.
Oh, what is that called? That Greek pastry?
A Greek pastry. Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with my Greek
I've got
pastries.
to Google it, guys, because it is literally my favourite.
So I made Tom a giant millefeuille from scratch. I made the cream custard filling thing, the creme pat.
Oh.
I made the creme pat from scratch. I made everything from scratch. I made the icing from scratch. I even made the jam from scratch, which, by the way, is so flipping hard.
Oh.
And it did go wrong, and I had to start again.
Baklava.
Yes.
I love baklava.
Yes.
M&S do a pistachio and honey. I mean, it is pistachio, but yeah, Greek.
I What did I think it was? I don't know. But
Oh, it's stunning.
oh,
It
you
might
should
be-
bake that for Con on his next birthday.
I don't know if he likes it.
Ah.
I'll just make it for me and pretend that I thought he liked it. He loves Bakewell tarts, though.
Oh, I do like a Bakewell tart.
I'll see, I don't.
Oh,
And I
I'm not.
really hate Battenberg.
Battenberg. What's Battenberg? Oh, I think I don't
Marzipan.
mind. I
hate
don't mind
marzipan.
Battenberg. I'm not sure.
No. That is cake for the bin, that is.
I don't think I'd choose it, but I don't think I would hate it. I don't know. But anyway,
It's making me really
Anyway,
laugh.
let me show you my milfoy. It was a big one,
That's lovely.
and I know it looks a bit of a mess.
no, that is so
And I know
good.
it's messy in the tin, but I made it all my very own self. Look at that, guys.
No, that is good.
And I know
It's
it's,
just
a
made
mess.
me really laugh that we're talking about love languages and we've deep dive cakes. That is Demi and Tyler to a T.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, but we were
That was
showing
a-
our love
Our
language.
languages, which that is an act of service
It
to
is.
bake a cake. So there are 5 love languages.
Mhm.
There's quality time, gift giving, receiving, physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation.
Yep.
And you're not just one. You do have elements of all of them, is what they say.
Mhm.
But you've got like a predominant one.
And
So
it's
what's-
interesting
Oh, yeah,
because people probably think they are something different. So we will link the
Yeah, we did a little quiz.
The little quiz.
But I actually sat and thought about what mine would be before I did the quiz. And then when I was doing the quiz, it was asking me questions like about... So what I thought mine was going to be was quality time, words of affirmation, acts of service, gifts, and... No, sorry. I'm saying this all wrong. What I thought it was going to be was quality time, physical touch, acts of service, words, gifts. And I thought that physical touch would be up higher. And then when I did the quiz and it was asking me questions like, would you rather your partner embrace you in a hug, or would you rather just be near them, spending time with them? And then there are all these other questions, and every time it mentioned the physical touch one, like I didn't want.
Yeah, same.
And I thought,
I think there was one or
Oh.
two that I clicked.
and then I realised, actually, I don't give a shit about physical touch. I'm not a hugger, am I?
No.
I do obviously have physical touch with Tom, but we're both not very
Yeah,
touchy.
I wasn't surprised, and that doesn't surprise me about you. I think when I think
I was
about
surprised.
like sexual, maybe, but when I think about me
No,
and
but
Con,
this isn't in terms
that's
of
what I mean.
sexual, yeah.
but when I think about me and Con in public and holding hands and hugging,
we never do.
never.
Do you guys not? No.
No.
Oh my god, no, we
Like
don't.
me and Con, like I said to you before, like when I think about me and Con, I always think about us dancing around in the kitchen while we're cooking dinner and laughing, and we'll have a big hug in the kitchen. But yeah, like
Which, yeah, of course, it's not saying that you never
No,
hug,
I know,
but
but
like...
I just think then, apart from that, really, I'm not a big.
And-
I don't have time to.
and yeah, and I don't think this love language thing does include sexual
No,
things,
it
does
doesn't,
It
no.
is literally based on everything other than that.
Like hand holding, massages, like
yeah, cuddles, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. Just like general, like, touchy.
Mm.
But in public, I mean, we're a bit more touchy privately, but I mean, not
Yeah.
that much. Like, when we're in bed, like, I am quite far apart from him because I like my space.
Yeah, and I do like it, but like you said, it's not up there for me. And I think again that comes from like how my circumstances have changed and stuff.
Yeah.
So like when I looked at mine, I wasn't.
So yeah, tell us
I
what
wasn't
yours
surprised. So acts of service, I got 30%.
is. So that's number one.
Yeah, words of affirmation 23%, receiving gifts 20%, quality time 17%, and physical touch 10%.
Yeah.
Now that didn't surprise me. I actually thought words of affirmation would have been higher, but then acts of service is things like your partner doing something to take the stress off you, or like
Yeah.
just doing one of your jobs so that it's easier for you, and that means a lot to me. Like when I come home and Con's gone, I've done all the washing and I've ironed it, and now's dance costume is ready to go. I'm like, I fucking love you.
Yeah.
I fucking love you, because I'm stressed. I've got 101 jobs to do. Con's got 101 jobs to do. He's just come in from work and everything's ready to go. Like every night he does the kids' sandwiches and the lunch, and that's ready to go. And then in the morning I've just got to bag it.
Yeah, see, I
It
didn't
makes my life
realise
easier.
acts of service would be up there for me because I didn't really think about it. And then Tom is very acts of service, and like Tom makes the dinner like every day. I'm not the cook. And if Tom's away at work, I'll just make myself something really basic. Like I'll literally get a jar of tomato sauce and pasta and some sausages and just mix it together. Like I won't do anything crazy. But then when Tom's there, like I can cook, but oh my God, I hate it. I hate cooking. But Tom will always cook. And Tom will, like this week, he's not been at work, but he works hard. He's always exhausted. And a poor boy probably wants to just have a lie-in, right? He'll wake up with me in the morning. He'll make my breakfast for me. He'll make my lunch for work and pack my lunch for me. He'll walk me out to the car. He'll like wait until I've drove off, like, and he'll like wave me off, like. And I was like, oh my God, actually,
that is
all the things
showing so much love.
When I come in, guys, you're gonna think this is like really soppy shit, but it's just really nice. When I come in from work and I just like sit down, he'll like take my shoes off my feet, and he'll like take my coat off me, and he'll hang my coat up, and he'll be like,
see,
I know.
And that's without saying, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Another big one, when it's winter and your partner de-ices your car for you, and you go out and it's warmed up.
Well,
and
I've got a slow puncture at the minute, and I have to keep pumping my tyre up. Tom will always. We've got the home pump. And he'll come out in the morning, he'll check it, he'll pump it up for me so I don't have to. The other morning I thought my window was a bit dirty, when the sun's glaring on it, you can't see. I went, oh, that needs cleaning at some point, because I was just like leaving, and I was like, because I can't see. And then he went, wait there, and he came out and he got his spray and he was cleaning it, and then he cleaned all my windows, and then he'll like make sure everything's topped up, and he'll check my oil, and I'm like, oh.
See, I love that.
I love you.
I love that, yeah. And do you know what? Another one. So that one didn't surprise me. And then words of affirmation. I think nothing makes me happier than when Con says, like, I'm proud of you. Like, not you're beautiful, just like, you're doing a really good job, Because you're having a stressful day, and it's like, you've done so much today. You've smashed it today. Like, you're such a good mom.
You would prefer that over you're beautiful. Do you? Is that because you know he thinks you're beautiful? Are you secure in that? Are you secure?
No, I think it's more the fact that I don't take compliments like that well, because I don't think it about myself.
Oh, okay.
And Con always says it, like every time I put on a new outfit or something, he'll go, "Oh, wife, you look stunning," or "Oh, like
wife."
You know what I mean? Yeah, like always, like, wife, you're beautiful. So I think. Maybe one, because he says it a lot, so it's one of those where it's like, maybe I'm just, I don't know, I underappreciate it.
She's just used to it.
And then, and then two, because I'm like, oh, thanks, so do you.
There's nothing wrong with that,
So
though.
do you.
And there's nothing wrong with being complimented all the time. Like, it's
like at the minute, a big one for me is that I'm trying to push my goals, and when Con, like, acts of service, he'll repost my stuff and he'll like it, and he knows how much that means to me, but then he'll also go, don't give in, like, you're smashing it, you're doing really well, you can't see it. Like those words of affirmation.
Oh, this is making me go all fuzzy inside.
And then like he listens to some of the podcasts, and then he's like, some of the most successful people say you succeed when you're about to give up. Usually when you're at the point of giving up is when you're the closest to succeeding. Yeah. And like he'll constantly remind me of that. When he sees me sitting at my laptop a bit deflated, he can obviously see it, and he'll be like, you're close, just keep going. Yeah. Like, don't give up. I believe in you.
I think it's very telling that when we decided we wanted to do the podcast,
neither
of us were embarrassed to tell our partners. No. We both were like, yeah, okay, well, this is what we're doing. And we both went and told them, and we both had positive reactions. I mean, they did laugh at, well, I don't know if Con laughed at you. Tom did laugh at me, and was just because he was like, how the fuck has this happened? He was laughing because it was so random.
So I went to get your nails.
I went to get my nails, and then came back and said, right, help me find some equipment then, because I'm making a podcast. So he was like, whoa, what? But then obviously he's like, our equipment is because Tom did sit down and he did research the equipment, and he said buy this, and he has been nothing but supportive, and he will repost on his TikTok.
And Khan every Wednesday on the way to work listens to our podcast.
Yeah.
Listens to it, and now
so
if you know Khan, he's not into girly things at all. Like he's a
Tom's not
literally.
Tom's not.
And every Wednesday he listens to it, and he'll come home from work and he'll mention something from the podcast. So like the once he come in doing sheep impressions and was laughing, and then like yesterday he said to me, he was like, we see you, and he did the actual like, we see you.
I called, Tom was driving back from Newcastle the other day from work, and I called him, and he was like, oh, I was just about to press play on your podcast, and I was like, oh, I'll leave you to it then, love. You go and listen.
I love that.
But they were both supportive.
Yeah, they were.
And I think Con did text Tom when we'd figured out our name, and he was like, girls in orbit, yeah? And he was like, oh God, yeah, what the hell? And they were bantering.
Do you
but
know,
like,
earlier when I was thinking about Con's birthday, I thought maybe we could start this podcast with my little, you know, those little blow things. And then I thought, what do we call our men? Are they the men in orbit or men from Mars? Like, what are they? What do we need to think?
Oh, we're going to have a little think about that.
Yeah, because I thought then we can refer to them as a certain...
Yeah, we're going to have a think about that.
So, yeah, that is mine. What is yours?
So...
Oh, can I guess?
Mine... Oh, yeah, you can if you want to. Yeah.
Okay. I reckon...
Yeah, go with what you think is number one.
Quality time, number one.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Acts of service, number two.
Yep. That's 2 in a row.
Ooh. Words of affirmation, number 3.
No.
Gift giving, number 3.
No, it was actually physical touch.
Oh, okay. Words of affirmation next.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. So then you had
so I've got
receiving gifts next, and then words of affirmation.
Yeah, which I was quite shocked about that as well, because I thought I really cared about words. I don't really.
You say
now yapper. I didn't. I thought I did, and then when I did the quiz and it said that, and I was like, oh, that's wrong. And then I actually thought about it, and I was like, actually, I'm really bad with words. So like to give that as love is not me.
Yeah.
So giving it as love, I really struggle to like.
I like your ginger
say my I actually find it really awkward to compliment, and I find it quite, and that's a me problem. It's just because of the way my brain works, but like I get really I just really struggle with the words.
Yeah.
When it's things like that, I feel really awkward, I feel really cringe, I feel really like I obviously do compliment Tom.
Yeah.
But I do feel weird when I'm doing it. Not because
I see what you mean.
And do you know what? I actually think it's because I've got like just a weird fucked up head. Like, and if people compliment me,
you're so hard on yourself.
And if people compliment me, I'm a bit like, oh, like whatever. Like I don't want to hear it. But Tom compliments me, and I don't mind receiving it. But I don't care about that being a big one. Like, I don't care if Tom never called me beautiful again. I wouldn't care, because I know he thinks I'm beautiful because of the way he behaves.
Yeah.
So I actually really deeped it earlier, and I was like, I actually do really care about those acts and the quality time and the way I'm being treated that way.
How would you take it if someone turned around to you and went, "Oh, you're so beautiful. I really like that outfit. You look so lovely." Oh,
I don't ever know what to do. I'm really weird socially, though. I've spoke to you about this before.
Yeah.
I have really weird social anxiety, but I also just don't feel like I even know how to socialise.
So do you think it comes more from that aspect? Like
I think it's because I've got ADHD. Yeah.
Rather than your self-love side of it.
Yeah. It's not because I don't value myself.
Yeah.
It's genuinely because I don't know how. You won't notice it because I get on with you. And I can like
she likes
I can
me.
talk to you.
See, she didn't say it, but she likes me.
I can't flirt. I don't understand the concept, I've realised. Being with Tom, like I don't understand it, I don't get it. And I think this is why my things have failed before. Because like someone would like send me a flirty text and I'd be like, Okay.
Yeah.
I
Good
don't,
one.
I don't get it. And then I'd like text all my friends a screenshot. And my friends listening to this will remember these times. I would spam my friends with screenshots like of boys texting me, and I'd be like, "Tell me what to say," and they'd be like, "What?" And they would tell me, but I'd be like, I did not know what to say because genuinely I don't get it.
It's one of those moments, isn't it? You're so beautiful, cool. So
Yeah.
is the sky.
Yeah, but like I would genuinely be like, okay, but not in a rude. I'm not being rude.
No, I know.
I'm not being like, I genuinely, there's just this, and I have only recognised it in the last couple of years. We asked Con to do the quiz because I got Tom to do the quiz
Go on.
because I wanted to see if ours matched. So my top one was quality time. His top one was acts of service. My second was acts of service, and his second was words of affirmation, which really shocked me.
Oh, Tom wants
I was
to be told.
I was really shocked. But he actually said that he would put quality time second, and he doesn't trust the.
Okay.
He would swap quality time and words of affirmation. So he would put quality time second and words of affirmation third, and then it's physical touch, and then it's gifts. So they are slightly different. If he puts quality time second, actually our first two are just swapped. So we're kind of in sync there. Because I wanted to see if it was really different, because I did want to talk about how do you navigate it when they're really different, but they weren't different.
Yeah.
We actually agree on a lot of things, and I think our love languages really align, and that's probably why we get on.
Yeah, because actually I know a few people that struggle when them and their partners show love in a different way. Like, I know somebody that really likes to be shown love through physical touch. Like, whether that's coming from work and give me a kiss, hold my hand in public, cuddle me, even sex, like just all of it. They're very much physical touchers, but their partner isn't.
See, and that's what I want. Yeah, how do you navigate that?
Well, this is the thing. It's hard because I think it comes down to constant communication, because if you actively don't like something, you're going to keep forgetting it, aren't you? And you're going to keep, like, for instance, if I'm not a touchy person and Con is, I wouldn't necessarily go out I wouldn't just touch.
You're not thinking about it.
I'd have to think about it. Exactly. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to be like, okay, need to go and give Con a kiss. And I think that is hard. I think putting yourself out there and doing that doesn't feel natural to you is hard, because then are you enjoying it? And I think that's where the question is, isn't it? It's about meeting in the middle. It's about giving a little, but making sure that you both feel fulfilled. Because I do think, for me, there's certain things in a relationship that I like that I wouldn't want not to be there. So like the quality time, and like the acts of service. If those acts of service weren't there, would I just keep going on my day acting like I'm happy with it when I'm not?
Would your bond and your appreciation for each other be as strong as it is? Probably
exactly
not. Because you'd probably then start having that, fuck's sake, why can't Con just put the washing on? Fuck's sake, why can't Con just help me out? You'd start thinking that way, whereas actually you don't need to, because he does those things.
Someone actually wrote in about it as well, about physical touch and how they love physical touch, and they keep falling out with their partner over it because they are not a physical touch person, and it's causing drifts.
That's
and I kind of read it and thought, okay, they keep having the conversation. He keeps saying, I'll try, okay, blah blah blah, it's just not me, it's not natural to me.
Okay.
But then they keep going again and again on this conversation, and I kind of read it and thought, it's a hard one, because you've got to you've got to feel fulfilled in a relationship. And do you want to be like 40, 50 still having this conversation where you're like, keep having to remind you that I love physical touch and you don't? And do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like, how many times are you going to have the same argument over and over again? Because if nothing's changing, I get that it doesn't come naturally to him, but you meet in the middle. Oh, it's Con done it. You meet in the middle and you compromise, but you would do that. I don't know, because it is hard. Because if I was saying to Tom, I like physical touch, and he didn't like physical touch, and I had to have this argument with him year after year, I think I would have to just break up with him because he's not giving me what I want.
This is what I was thinking. I do think that there is someone out there for everyone, and I know that's really cliche and everyone's probably thinking
Cringe.
but me and Khan are very opposite in regards to like, I'm really bubbly, he's a bit more like reserved. I don't stress about anything at all. Khan's a bit of a stress head.
Oh, me and
Like-
Con will get along just fine. Man. I
Me
stress
and
about
Tom as
everything.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
like-
and Tom don't stress. Like Tom does not stress. I am the stressor.
But this is why we work, because we
Yeah.
meet in the middle. And then I thought, like, we work because of that. But you've got to feel fulfilled in a relationship. And I do think you shouldn't have to do something that you don't like to
No.
please a partner. So if you
Especially
really don't
if
like
you-
physical touch,
Yeah.
like, are you kissing them and then thinking, oh, I'm doing this to
That's
make
not
you happy,
good.
but I don't like it? It's like,
Yeah.
but if you are a physical toucher, there is someone out there that does like physical touch.
The thing is, they should like physical touch to an extent. They might not like doing it all the time, but touching you and kissing you should not make them feel
Yeah.
uncomfortable anyway, because they should, if you're in a healthy, you're attracted to each other, that I do believe there should be that element of physical touch. Yes, okay, maybe it's not enough, but then if you ask them to do it a little bit more, and that little bit more is making them go, maybe that's, you shouldn't be together, because they shouldn't be thinking, oh, when you're
Yeah.
wait, they should be kissing you. What it should be is they're kissing you more. Let's just go with kissing, cuddling, whatever it is. They kiss you a little bit more because that's what you've asked for. They enjoy the kiss, but maybe it's just hard for them to initiate the kiss, or maybe they just have to think about it a bit more.
So the person said her partner always says he's tired. So when this person wrote in, they said, my love language is physical touch. Theirs is dating, so going out for food and stuff.
Okay.
And then when we have this conversation, they always say that they're tired. Like, they didn't think anything of it. They're just tired. They've had a long day at work.
Has this person said how long they've been together or anything like that?
They've been together 2 years.
And I really don't like having an opinion on other people's relationships.
It's
because
hard, isn't
it makes
it?
me feel bad because I
really sat on this one. Like, when I read this last night,
really hard.
and this one got sent in, I really just like sat on it and thought, oh, I don't know how I feel about that, because like you said, there's a fine line.
There is a fine line. They should be attracted to you and they should want to touch you a little bit. Me and Tom don't sit there cuddling, but if I went in for a cuddle, he would cuddle me. Me and Tom don't really hold hands, but if I went for a handhold,
And I think
he
that's
would
where we
hold
need
my
a bit more
hand.
information, isn't it?
Because
does
it's
this
like,
happen?
I don't want Tom to be all over me in a public situation.
Mhm.
I don't want him to kiss me in front of people, but if he did, I would still accept it, because
Yeah, like for instance, when Con walks through the door, don't go up to him and give him a kiss. Like, you've just come in from work, give him a kiss.
yeah.
But like, if I'm in the kitchen, so like Con's come in, he said hello, and I've greeted him at the door, and the kids have come running, and you know, we've spoke about his day and whatever, and he's gone upstairs, got changed. He'll come downstairs. I'll 9 times out of 10 be in the kitchen, and he'll come in, and I'll give him a cuddle, and then we'll just naturally kiss. It's not like but it's just natural. And sometimes, do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like, it's always natural. I couldn't put a thing, like you said, you'll lie on the sofa, and if you go in for a cuddle, Con will put, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Tom
And
would,
we
he'd
don't
put
do
his
it a
arm out.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to sit and cuddle because I like to sit and be comfy and
Yeah.
be in my blanket.
But again, I think that's
but if
when
we-
you get older and
Yeah.
stuff, isn't it?
But if we did, it would be accepted and it would be welcomed with open arms. Like, it wouldn't be oh God, I don't want to do that with you. It would, although we don't do it all the time. If we do it, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Like, me and Con obviously have our sections on the sofa that we sit on. But if I went to go lie on Con's lap, I know he'd play with my hair.
Yeah, he's
It
not
just
gonna say.
naturally,
Yeah,
It wouldn't be like,
well, that's what I do. Sometimes I get a bit sleepy and I want a bit of a cuddle, and I'll just go on Tom's chest.
so yeah, it is interesting. But that's what I mean, guys. I think communication is key.
Absolutely.
Understanding what your partner does like and kind of being mindful of that, but also knowing that there is a fine line, and if it doesn't sit right with you, then maybe that person isn't for you.
And if they're making excuses, if you've spoken about it many times, if nothing has changed and they are making excuses, then I think there is a deeper problem.
Absolutely.
Genuinely. Because if you're saying to your partner, I want more of this, I get upset if you don't, and they say, okay, I'll try and work on it, and then they go, oh, I'm just tired, I didn't think about it. Well, you just told me for the millionth time that you were going to try, so
absolutely.
Why are you tired again? I think there's probably a deeper issue, and I don't know. I would readdress it. And do you know what? I'd give yourself a bit of a time limit on this. How many more times are you going to actually put up with it?
But that's what I thought. I just think
3 more months. Give it 3 months. Have one more conversation about it. Give it 3 months. If you've got to talk about it again, or if his actions don't change within that 3 months, I think you need to say, boy, fucking bye.
Exactly. And it goes back to friends, family, partners. You need to feel fulfilled. Both people need to feel fulfilled.
This is your life too.
And do you want to get to 40, you've got kids and you're still dissatisfied because you're not getting the type of love that you want and deserve?
And you only stayed because you were scared to leave because you're comfortable.
Exactly.
And it's what you know.
So
breakups are scary.
They're
scary, but it doesn't mean your life is over when you have a breakup.
It doesn't mean that you should compromise at all.
You shouldn't settle for something that isn't what you want or need. You know.
We're having a shifty around here.
Oh, yeah. My bum's getting a little numb.
It was interesting because the people that wrote in, not one of them actually said physical touch. So someone had put sending stupid memes. Now, when I seen this, it really made me laugh because me and my best friend don't ever text. And if we do, it's once in a blue moon to say we should probably meet up now. It's been months. But every day we send about 4 or 5 memes of like friendship things, like shit things that are like friends rolling around, or you get that one friend in your life that, and we send them back and forth. We bat them back and forth all the time. You're number one of the day. And then like my work colleagues, the ones that I get on really well with, they send me funny ones, and I'm like, that's
what do you think memes comes under? Acts. It's interesting, isn't it? When it's through the phone like that. Is it a form of quality time? Is it a form of acts of service? Is it a form of words of affirmation?
Words of affirmation, I'd say.
Okay.
Because it's always something linked to like you're a really good friend. Do you know what I mean? Like say.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right.
Someone else put cooking for my family because I love them, and I can agree on this one because one of my favourite things to do is host. I want you around.
Oh, I couldn't think of anything worse.
I want to put on a spread. I want to go all out, and I just want you to enjoy it.
You can come to my house, but I'm ordering a Chinese.
Someone else put acts of service, do some housework, do something you know I needed to do.
Yeah.
And again, I agreed with that one. Like, I love that. I like to be shown with affection, and if I don't see any affection, I'm assumed I'm not loved. Now, that was the same person that wrote in about their partner.
So physical touch is quite important to them.
Yeah.
This idea of affection and that, and there are people that also love that. I really,
and that's okay. Like that, it's its own category for a reason because.
And it's okay to have a different love language to your partner as long as you are both respecting and appreciating and working with each other. There
absolutely.
And fulfilled. But honestly, I really do think that needs to be.
And then again, someone else put cooking. I cook meals for my husband and treats for my friends and colleagues. So again, acts of service. I think acts of service is a big one. And another one that didn't really filter in was words of affirmation.
Yeah.
But like you said, sometimes it's because with that, either we can't take compliments. Like I said to you earlier, I struggled to take a compliment a bit like, or some people feel confident and comfortable enough in themselves to not need that. Like when me and Con first started dating, we used to send paragraphs of I love you, good night messages, yada yada yada. Now it's like he's done the ironing. I absolutely love him.
You were younger. I mean, I feel like back in the day, those paragraph things were like what we did because that's what was like.
Yeah, like do you know what really made me laugh? You know how like I was thinking about it the other day on like TikTok how people like repost and comment and stuff to get you out there. Do you remember before on Facebook where it'd be like I'll send you a paragraph or
and I'll rate you out of 10.
Yeah, and everyone used to just do it. I don't really know you, but you seem like a nice girl.
So I'm gonna give you an 8.5.
You fit. So yeah, again, I thought that was really interesting because obviously age is a factor. How long you've been together, your situation that you're in. I think all of those are considered.
There's no right or wrong.
You're number 2. There isn't, but no, I agree. And I think
You're
I
boring.
boring. See, now I wonder how Tom feels about this when she's yawning all over him.
I think he's just fucking got used to it. I
She's my
yawn all the
wife.
time.
That's what it is now. He just knows your wifey material.
Well, I'm waiting for that ring on my finger.
Like, do you know what I love doing? I love getting dressed up to go on a date night with Con.
Oh, I do love doing that. We
Not-
don't do it very often, but I do
No,
love it.
but and it feels special to just put on some nice clothes for him and make the effort. And
I do like it, but again, we don't do things like that much because I don't like going out.
yeah,
I'm such a I would rather we spent time together in the house. But so's Tom. I mean, he works literally all the time. So when he's home, it's like
yeah.
he needs to relax, and we do go out and do stuff. But I just love we love having dinner, whether it's a takeaway or whether Tom cooks us a dinner, and we love just getting in front of the TV and binge watching a show or watching a movie.
Yes.
I am never happier. That is how
absolutely.
we are happy. And some people are saying, "Oh, watching TV is not spending quality time." Oh, fuck off, because I love it.
No, I agree.
am happy.
Like little things like I know being a parent's a given, and you should be a good dad, but watching Con be a good dad. I love to sit back on the sidelines and watch him reading to my children, or giving them cuddles, or listening to them laugh really loud because he's making them laugh, and I'm like, fucking love you.
I know I've not got kids yet, but Tom is an uncle to 4 nephews, and oh my god, when I see him with his I've got a little sister that's 3. That's a story for another bloody day. But when I see him with my little sister, when I see him with his nephews, I'm just like, I like that. So I can and when I see him with them, I'm like, oh god, you're going to be a great dad. And I just think, and if we take my sister to soft play, I will sit down and he will go in the soft play and run around with her. And my little sister loves Tom.
I love that.
I think she likes Tom more than me. Tom is her favourite person. She loves him.
We'll get her on here, guys, and we'll find out for you.
Yeah, she loves him. I walk through the door and she's like, "Where's Tom?" She's like, "Hi, Tyler, where's Tom?" And I'm like, "He's not here today." And then on my phone, it's me and Tom as the background, and she will always come and tap my phone and go, "It's Tom."
Oh, I love that.
And all the toys that Tom's bought her and stuff, she's got these monster trucks that Tom's bought her. She loves monster trucks, and she'll be like, "My monster truck's off Tom."
There you have it, guys. You heard it here first. Tom is the chosen one.
Tom is the best.
But yeah, I think to round that up, there's no right or wrong answers.
Yeah, there is.
Just feel fulfilled.
Just wanted to chat about it.
Yeah, you guys asked for it and we've delivered. But I think the main come away from that is everyone's is different, and it's important to appreciate that and be mindful of that. But fulfillment, just be fulfilled. I am big on not settling. I am massive on not settling.
You do not need
people
to settle.
ask me all the time, how do I maintain a healthy relationship with 2 kids, a house,
and it takes
a dog,
work.
And it's communication and fulfillment. Our cups are both full, and that's the main thing.
And we tend to it's not something I've always done in life. It's something that I've got better at with Tom, and that we've just learnt to get better at. But when there is an issue, we solve it straight away. We don't sit on it, and then if Tom's done something to annoy me, I don't let it bubble up inside me for weeks and weeks and then just get mad and then start letting things build
absolutely.
up. If he's done something that's upset me, or vice versa, it's addressed there and then.
Never go to bed on an argument.
Yeah, we address
it.
We talk about it. We solve it if it happens again, which I don't think we've had repeat issues, actually.
Yeah.
I think we've nothing that comes to my mind where I've had to like we were saying, having the same conversation over and over again, nothing changing. We actually are quite good at saying, "This is how I feel. You've made me feel this way," or that I didn't like this. Talking about it and then going, right, what can we do to make it better?
Absolutely.
Well, I can do this. He'll say, I can do this, and then we're quite good at that communication, but I haven't always been.
No, me either.
And I think getting older and experiences and things like that, but the communication part and actually doing what you say you're going to do. Like, you can have the conversation, you can say something's upset you, you can say, oh, I'll make sure I don't do that again. Actually follow through.
Yeah.
Like, actually, what you've said, that is what you've said.
And it should feel natural as well.
Yeah.
Like, it should feel natural to do it. Like, appreciating how your partner feels, like taking that into consideration. If they've come to you and said, I feel this way, and spoke to you about it, that's a big move. That doesn't come easy. So for them to do that, it's appreciating that as well.
Do you know what's something that I actually probably I still do it because I'm just not in a mean way, but like I'm quite, if Tom walks in the door, I can be quite bad at like not asking how his day was, and I will like be like, oh, guess what I did today, because I kind of, again, it comes down to this social thing.
Yeah.
I really struggle with reading other people. I really struggle reading other people's, like, I can't really know what people are thinking and stuff from their facial expression. Like, it's like a...
But then once you've
don't
had
get
that
it.
conversation about your day, do you then go, oh, how was your day? Like, does it...
So, yeah, so
There you go.
he has actually said to me before, like a few years ago, you don't ask me how my day's been, you don't ask about me. And he doesn't actually mind that much because I'm the talker. Tom's actually quite quiet, unless he's with his friends. I'm the yapper, and Tom likes to listen. He's the listener, and it works really well, and he likes to listen to me yap. But I think he was getting a bit frustrated because then I was never asking about him, which is my bad, and I know that I did that because I was just always thinking, like, and getting excited. And he did say to me at one point, like, you don't ask me how I am, or ask, like, you, it's always you.
But I love
you.
that, because the fact that you've noticed and gone, you know what?
Yeah, right.
No, I don't. And you've owned that. And the fact that he felt comfortable enough to say that to you, that shows.
And then I was like, shit, I'm really sorry. I didn't like, and we spoke about it and I apologized. And then, yes, okay, it'll still happen. And he'll walk in the door and I'll go, blah, 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 and then I'll go, sorry, tell me about you. And he's like, okay. But sometimes, I mean, 9 times out of 10, if I go, sorry, I'm talking too much, tell me about your day, he'll be like, no, let's keep talking.
Yeah.
Like, he actually doesn't
that.
mind. But I think there was times where it was like, if he'd had a bad, I think it's more predominant when he's had a bad day.
Yeah, cool.
And then he's like, I've had a bad day and you've not even asked me how. And I am much better at recognizing that now. But again, he's not had to tell me twice.
Yeah.
He's not had to tell me twice.
And that's the important thing.
I still fuck up with it, but I realise when I'm doing it that I'm doing it. So I'm aware. So I'll be doing it and then I'll go, sorry.
And also, importantly, not that he expects you to, but we obviously sometimes body language and expressions give it away, but you're not to know that they're having a bad day.
Of course. and I can't read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
But yeah,
it could be written all over your fucking face that you're in a bad mood, and I will misinterpret. I think he's in a bad mood, but he's not. Honestly, I'll be like, what's wrong with you? Something wrong? And he's like, and genuinely there's nothing, but I misinterpret all signs like that. I'm just not, unless you are crying, unless you are doing.
Do you know when I do that the most?
Things.
When Con's eating his dinner and he's quiet, I'm like,
what's wrong?
Are you okay? And he'll be like,
I'm fucking
I'm
eating
just
my dinner.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Good point.
I'm really bad at when we're eating our dinner, Tom. We are TV watchers when we eat dinner, because Tom does enjoy to just have that time eating his dinner.
Oh, yeah.
To just watch telly and like decompress from
I'm
his
the
day.
same.
Oh, I like to talk. Of course I do. And I'll be like, so, blah, 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 blah. And he'll be like, yeah. And then he'll just look at me and he'll go, I'm eating my dinner. And I'll go, oh, yeah. And I know that, and sometimes I'll go, and I won't even start because I'm
the
like,
only time
he
me
just
and Con
wants
get to
10
watch
minutes.
TV. Only time, because
of
of the
course.
kids and stuff. So we're like, kind of like, TV's on.
Oh.
Yeah. Whereas before, I'd be like you.
Yeah.
So, how's your dinner?
Well, and I'll be like,
You've not said much.
Yeah.
Is that nice?
I say, you're a bit quiet. Are you all right? Is everything okay? Have you had a bad day?
I love that.
But he's just, all he wants in life, he's a simple man. There's not much that he wants, but one of the things he wants is that 10 minutes to just eat his dinner. And that's fine.
I feel like that's
he
kind
can
of
They're
so
have that.
similar.
Yeah, they are similar. Oh, so they're friends.
Not
for a
Con,
reason.
dinner and food, don't interrupt.
Do
not interrupt. honestly. I was trying to find the question of the week. Did you manage to find something that motivated you or anything?
Yeah, this is another thing where I had to really think about this.
So the question was, guys, what's a song, film or book that you feel that has impacted on your life?
And what did I text back? I don't fucking know anything.
I've only just seen it. My phone's really playing up terribly. Like, if anyone knows how to solve this, and no, it's not iCloud, it keeps telling me I've got no storage on my phone, and I've deleted absolutely everything. I've got no photos. I used to have 5,000 photos on my phone. I've deleted them off recently, they don't exist anymore. It still tells me I can't go onto WhatsApp, I can't do this, I can't do that. And it's not my iCloud, it's my phone storage. I think it's just time for a new phone.
I think you need a new phone.
Anywho, so when I seen this question, Tyler was like, fucking hell, that's so hard.
It's because I don't like to think about those things. I bury everything deep inside.
Do you know what? I actually thought this was really hard because there's a few things that I could probably say and, you know, a few lyrics and whatever. But I think the one for me at the minute is Thames Wickedest.
I thought she was going to give us a Justin Bieber song.
No, and the reason being, let me see if I can find it. Not this bit. I don't know if it'll let us do this.
Oh yeah, copyright.
This bit.
Quick, turn it off, copyright.
Right there. It says something like they couldn't see the vision. It talks about how people are talking about her 3 years and she's only just getting started and people couldn't see the vision. And I feel like it just resonates at the minute with the fact that, like, there's people probably think, what are they doing with that podcast? And like, but we've got a big vision and we're only just getting started.
Yeah.
And in 3 years' time, we don't know where we'll be. And I do feel like I say things a lot of the time and people are like, okay. Like pushing social media, I can see that people think, yeah, but there's 100,000 other girls doing it because they can't see the vision and I can.
So what? Yeah.
So when I run and it says I'm on my tunnel vision, when I'm running, I'm like, tunnel vision, I've got this. Like, just getting started. Go on, your turn.
Oh God, mine's a bit actually quite deep. See what you've done to me. You've evoked emotion. You've made me think.
Wasn't me, it was the people.
You've made me think. I was sat there like a song. What was it? Song, movie, or book? I was like, there is nothing in any of those categories that has impacted me. Like, I take everything pretty like surface level.
Yeah.
I'm like, I enjoy music and books but they don't impact me. And then I like really thought about it and I was like, oh, actually,
I'm interested for this.
Oh God, no, because now it's really deep. I actually had to write this out so that I could articulate it because, like I said, I'm not good with my words.
Yeah.
So I've had to write it out because I won't be able to get it out. Yours was quite like, mine's really deep. So Eminem. Either, are you familiar with Eminem?
Yeah.
Old Eminem.
Yeah.
Either Mockingbird or Hailey's Song.
Oh, Hailey's Song.
Those two. So I'm like, I don't know if you know this about me, I'm a massive Eminem fan.
Yes, we did have this conversation.
Did we?
We did, yeah.
From when I was little, like, from the Slim Shady LP all the way up to, I think, the Recovery album, those are the ones that, like, I liked. But then I have listened to his newest album, which was quite nice because it was quite a nostalgic thing. But, like, the others, the newer ones, I still respect Eminem. I still think he's great. I just didn't fuck with the new music. But all of his old music growing up probably wasn't appropriate. But, you know, it's fine. I had young parents that loved hip-hop and
so
they
I was
played me
dancing
hip-hop.
out to Christina Aguilera Dirty when I was a kid. Like, you want to hear me party?
Well, I would have Eminem CD in my stereo blasting in my room. And I don't know if you're familiar with the song Kill You, but I would have Kill You blasting and it'd be like really inappropriate. I didn't even clock though that it was inappropriate.
Yeah. You don't know, do you? That's the thing.
But anyway, so Mockingbird, Hailey's Song, they are two Eminem songs that I will cry every time. There has never been a time, not always a sob. Sometimes my eyes just water. Sometimes it's a sob, but my eyes are never dry if I'm to listen to those songs.
And why is that?
So when I was younger, so the reason has changed. So when I was younger, it would be because basically, guys, my biological dad, we don't have a relationship, and he don't know if he still is, probably still is, was addicted to drugs and was violent and not a nice person. And I haven't seen him since I was like little.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a memory of him. But I always obviously knew he existed and things like that. And I always like had that like, oh, thinking about him, whatever. And I used to listen to Eminem is obviously known for being violent, a criminal, a drug addict, blah blah blah. And he obviously mentions this a lot in his songs. And I always used to get really upset because he would rap about all these things, but then he would also rap about his daughter and how he would like do anything for her. Yeah. So I'd get really upset listening to the songs because I'd be like, why can't my dad just change for me? Yeah. Why can't, because Eminem is like sober now. He's like really stable. He like has always looked after his daughter because I won't go into Eminem lore, but like the mum was quite chaotic as well and had her problems. So like, and he like changed, and I think she was a massive influence on why he changed. And I used to think, oh my god, why can't my dad just
like why aren't you good
enough for
why
you? Aren't you fucking doing that for me? But as I got older, I don't cry listening to it now because of that reason. I have a dad who is my dad, but he's actually my stepdad, and he got with my mum when I was probably about 2 months old. Aww. And they've been together ever since. And so like he's raised me, he's my dad, and he would literally do anything for me. Like, and he would never even make me feel like I wasn't even his biological child. Like, I'm his daughter, end of. And as I got older, and then like Eminem also has adopted like his niece, and so I don't know, but he basically has 3 children, I think. 2 of them are not his biological children, they're like family members, but he has taken them on as his own. And he will rap about them and call them his children. He will not say that they're not. He will include them. He like loves them just as much as his own daughter. And I used to think, oh, that's really nice. And then like my opinion changed because I was like, actually I do have a dad that loves me and does anything for me and like treats me the way I like. It doesn't matter that my biological dad doesn't do it. And like my perspective shifted, and now I get emotional listening to it because I have this really amazing dad that didn't have to be my dad. And can I just say, my mum had me as a really young teen, and my dad was, well, stepdad, just to not confuse you, my stepdad was also a young teen, and a young teen met this other young teen. That's
so lovely.
Well, they
like,
did grow up on the same estate and stuff, so he did know her, but he's like
to take on that responsibility as a young.
I mean, apparently he like loved her for years and fancied her for years. Apparently, she used to be like, oh no, but like they lived like across the road from each other, so they. But he was like, he loved my mum, and he was only a kid really, and he was like, yeah, I love you and I'll look after your 2-month-old daughter. And he's always just loved me since. Like, it's not even.
And I also think as well, when you listen to some songs, especially in that situation, like it does bring back those old feelings and those like memories of you in your bedroom and how you felt. And I find that's why it's really silly, but I run away from certain songs and I run away from certain films because if there's a moment linked to it, I can't revisit it. I have a really bad, like, I wouldn't be able to walk back into my secondary school because I had a really good secondary school life until my ex-boyfriend decided to come into my life, and then I used to walk the corridors every day fucking crying. Do you know what I mean? So and then I think, like, if I was to walk back in there, it'd just bring back crying and like all of that, and I don't want to revisit that. A good example, it's not always bad memories. I cannot go back to Cyprus at the minute where I got married because I loved it that much and everyone was there. I don't want to revisit without everyone
apart from
there.
Me.
Yeah, apart from Tyler, because I'm just like, I loved it that much. I'll feel some sort of loss.
Oh.
So I'm
So
quite
you'll, like,
heavy on the
grieve it?
emotion. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
I get it,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, it's strange.
And do you know what? I actually didn't listen to Eminem for years. I did actually avoid Eminem because a lot of his songs would remind me of my situation, because he was always rapping about drugs and stuff. And I also resonated with him because he didn't have a relationship with his dad, and he would also rap about how shit his dad was, and he would like be quite aggressive. And I was quite an aggressive teenager. Like I had anger issues because I just didn't know how to handle my emotions. And I didn't listen to Eminem for a long time. And you're right. Mockingbird actually came up in the car when I started listening to Eminem again, and I skipped it.
See, it's interesting, isn't it? Like I've done that a few times where I thought, no, you will listen to that and you will feel that emotion. So guys, whoever asked that question,
you made
me
really get deep.
Yeah, like that was an interesting one.
I never get deep, and I never think about how things like that impact me. Like I said, I take it all quite surface level.
Yeah.
I like music, I like books, I like films, I like TV. I don't feel like anything has a deep impact on me like that. But actually it does.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
It really does.
And it is lovely when you, like you said, when you sit back and actually reflect on that, because you wouldn't just necessarily think about something like that.
And I would never sit and reflect like that.
So yeah, guys, keep sending these questions, please.
No, I don't want to keep thinking about these things.
And please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe,
share, tell everyone,
tell your neighbours, your mum, your dog,
your
everyone,
best friend, your teacher, your
push us out
boss.
there. We're hard-working gals,
and we want some more listeners.
We do.
So
yeah, I will put up a poll for next week on topic choices. We'll choose 3.
We'll have a discussion in a moment.
And it'll be in
we'll choose
the watcher's discretion.
Oh, make sure you pick something good.
Yeah, boy. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you. Bye.